Hey guys, it's Laura Dabbles here, and I did something like this on my TikTok, but I thought I would do something here for you guys to show how to do a Lenormand 3x3 small tableau, right? So we are going to use, let's say that we have a non-binary person and a boyfriend, right? And our querent is going to be the non-binary person. So we're going to take, because this comes with so many extra significator cards, that we're not going to put in unnecessary significator cards, right? Unless they're poly, which in this case, we're going to keep it simple and just have it be a monogamous relationship, right? So we're going to put these into the deck, and now we are going to shuffle. I'm going to shuffle off screen. And we're back. Now, instead of pulling the top 9 cards to make my 3x3 grid, I am going to search the deck for our querent. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Ah, there's our querent. Boom, right in the center. All the cards in front of the querent go up to make the 3x3. Let's just straighten that out a little bit more. And don't worry, I'll put everything into view once I have a free hand. And then we're going to take these bottom cards here. We're going to lay them out just like so. All right, it's very important the order in which you do this. You want to keep the flow intact, right? So I have not changed any of the cards, right? So I have not changed any of the cards' positions in any way. Let's back this up a little bit. Let's try to get this glare off the goat. There might just be a glare. That's all right. Anywho, so notice how our querent's partner did not show up in the spread. That doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. It just means that what the querent's going through right now is not directly being affected by their partner more so than these events are being affected by them, right? Or affecting them, right? So our querent, let's just call our querent Milo because it's my neighbor's favorite cat. So Milo wants to know how their week is going to be. Their partner didn't show up in the spread, but their desires do, right? Beneath them is coming out of this rebellious phase, right? I like having the querent in the middle because what is below the querent is their foundations. What is above them is what they're thinking about. What they're looking towards is what they're planning to do or thinking about doing. And what they have their back turned to is what they're not looking at, right? So they are looking towards desires, but they're not looking for a sustained happiness. They've given up on a sustained happiness and they're just kind of chasing the ride, right? They are trying to be more vulnerable, right? They're trying to be more naked in their own skin, more vulnerable, more open, kind of like the skeleton is extremely vulnerable and open. What they're thinking about are all of the things that they have abandoned in the past, whether that be artistic pursuits or whether that be actual relationships and people, right? If it's a relationship reading, that's how you read it. But they are just asking how their week is going, right? So it's like, well, you've got a lot of abandoned projects that are on your mind. Maybe it's a business plan. Maybe it's a business plan that you abandoned and haven't even thought about again till recently. Like maybe this is an old business plan. Like maybe you want to do an Etsy shop, right? Selling tarot readings, right? Maybe that was what they were doing and it completely ended. Something happened to completely end it, and it's on their mind that they never pursued that. And below them, part of their foundations is this rebellious phase, this chasing their desires and being armored, which the beetle is like armor. It's the opposite of the skeleton, right? So I think it's very interesting that this is on one side of the querent and that's on the other side of the querent. So let's read across here. They've abandoned some kind of business project. And then here, something else that has come to an end is their expectations of happiness, right? And trying to protect their happiness has come to an end. They've just given up on being happy. Quite sad. The bottom here, the goat, right? They have a desire to be rebellious because that is their armor. That's what instead of drawing people to them, their rebelliousness, their contrarianness, maybe they purposefully act like an asshole so that no one ever gets close, right? That's their foundations. That's kind of what they've built themselves up to be all this time. And then here we have, again, a business dealing that's leaving them feeling very vulnerable, but it's what they like. Right? So maybe this new business dealing that's making them feel vulnerable, but they enjoy the business, right, is making them think about how soon they abandon this other business of theirs. Now let's read diagonally. I like to read diagonally. So it's going to be ship, querent, beetle, right? When it comes to business matters, this person is very guarded. They probably don't talk about their money. They probably don't talk about their success, which means they probably don't celebrate their success, right? And then we have coffin, querent, heart. This querent is very quick to deny themselves what they want in order to fulfill all of these other things. Like maybe saving up for this business, this querent hasn't done all of these things. Maybe they've not gone on vacation or gotten that new car. Maybe they're still driving their jalopy, right? Instead of doing what they desire to do, they are ending those desires and not giving into anything. And that makes for a very dull person. I think you should always have a balance between saving things and spending for yourself and what you want. So this person has been denying themselves a lot. And considering everything else in this spread, I'm not surprised that this hypothetical querent doesn't have their partner show up in the spread, because they've got so much going on already in their head, right? Because a lot of these concepts are not concrete concepts, right? There are a lot of concrete concepts in the Lenormand deck, like the ship is a very concrete concept, but the rest of these concepts are very, very personal, right? Like being guarded, being vulnerable, your desires, your happiness. These are not concrete concepts. Now, let's find, since we've not touched this at all, let's find the partner. Let's see what the partner is up to, what they have going on, or what he has going on. Oh, there's the partner. All right, now this partner spread is going to break the deck. So what happens is, and I'm just going to lay the partner's cards right on top, right? Just like before. And let's look at the partner's week ahead. And to fill out the rest of these, boom, we're actually going to start from the top, because the deck goes like this, right? So, yes, that is the second card, just double checking. So we're going to pull from the top of the deck. All right, so this is the partner spread. This is their partner spread. He, him pronouns, and the partner is looking at writer. So the partner could be looking at good news, but the writer has a double meaning of a potential love interest. So it could be that the partner is looking at other options, right? Maybe Milo, the querent, is too in their head all the time, that their partner is like, maybe I want to find someone else. Or it could be good news. We'll let the spread figure that out for us. The partner here, he's trying to ignore his challenges and his obstacles, right? He's ignoring his challenges and his obstacles, which consist of bear and whip. So this person probably gets punished a lot at work. Bear is an overbearing person, or or a manager at work, a boss at work. So we could go with that. Or it could be that Milo is the bear and Milo is overbearing and punishing, right? But we'll just go with the work. We'll just go with the work thing because there's nothing in Milo's spread beneath this to insinuate any kind of anger or angst towards their partner. So we are just going to go that this is from work, right? This is what I love about doing couple spreads like this, when they don't pop up in each other's spreads. So bear, cross, whip. They're being punished at work and they are seeking a distraction from that. They're always thinking, they're always learning. This is a very bright person. Haha, get it? Because candle. He's a very bright person. He's always thinking about stuff. And he's always thinking about this person that is being pretty abusive and the city, what he can do, what he can go out and experience. This is an experience-based person, right? They live a fast and loose life, which, again, this could be not good news. From all of this, I'm definitely now thinking that this is a new love interest. Beneath them, they have star. They have a foundation of hopes and dreams and wishes. This is not someone who's looking ahead. This is someone who has their head in the skies, right? And again, we have the book here, right? Things that they don't know. So their week ahead is going to be things that they don't know about this love interest they might be pursuing. This love interest they might be pursuing has just the same kind of lifestyle that he does. However, that might not be a very good thing. That might ignite some overbearing qualities in both of them. And then down here we have whip, star, and book. This person is beating themselves up for having these hopes and dreams. Maybe these are unrealistic expectations of life. And so this is a punishment of themselves because they haven't quite learned really what life is about yet. Let's read diagonally. This overbearing person at work, or this overbearing manager in their life, makes this person feel stupid, right? Makes this person feel like they don't know enough. And now let's look at city, person, whip. This person is actually kind of starting to get bored with the city and aggravated. Maybe not bored is the right word. Get aggravated with the city. Maybe the city has too much temptation for them, right? So we see that our querent underneath, let's return to the querent underneath. Our querent underneath has all this stuff going on inside their head that they are probably neglecting their partner, right? Their partner is probably feeling very neglected and is why he's pursuing these other people or this other person. So here you have the 9x9 spread. Let's do something fun. Let's hypothesize that the partner did come up in the spread. How would you have done the spread where you could read both of theirs without breaking up the spread too much? Well, you're basically going to make an intersecting 3x3. And let's make this more interesting. And let's put the partner here. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the cards down like we did previous. And let's just put the same cards, just in a different order. So that, boom, you have an intersecting 3x3. So our querent has their 3x3 all around them. And their partner has the 3x3 all around them, except we don't need those two up top. Has the 3x3 around them. So whenever we're looking at this partner, we're not going to look at this last set of cards. When we're looking at this partner, we're not going to look at these last set of cards, right? And you can do this in any order, right? So now what we would do if the partner is on the corner and you want to make an intersecting 3x3 is it would look like this, right? Now, let's play around with the important thing about a reading for relationships in Lenormand. They are still looking towards each other in this position. They're still looking at one another. So, and they're very close to each other. So the relationship is close. They might not see exactly eye to eye. This person has a little bit more control in the relationship because they're higher up in the spread and this person is lower down in the spread, but it's not too much of a gap. If it was like this in your grand tableaus or your 3x3s or whatnot, then they're definitely not seeing eye to eye, but there's still a closeness there. This person has a lot more control over this person. This person, things are just happening to them, right? And let's say that the partner is way over here, right? They're facing away from each other. They are definitely not seeing eye to eye. There's a lot of passion and heat because they're right next close to each other. So I'd say they're having a spiff this week. If they were farther apart from each other, I would say that they're well on their way to a breakup. It's no longer a heated not seeing eye to eye. It is a sustained coldness at this point, right? And that is pretty much how you're going to do near, far, and directional readings for partner cards in the Lenormand. Now, these are still being read directionally. Now, let's break out some of these other cards, our other significator cards. And notice how they don't all look at each other. They all look towards the animus card. All of them look towards animus. But let's say you've got a non-binary person and the anima card. In this particular deck, you're going to have to decide to read one of these cards opposite, which is not good for a visual aesthetic. However, you have at least 4 different genders being shown in this deck, with the skeleton being an optional fifth significator card, right? So if we look at all of these, you've got all these different genders represented. It would be incredibly difficult to have them all facing each other in any combination. That's impossible. So with this deck, even though it has all of the representation, it's impossible to read in that binary fashion as we are used to doing, with cards looking at each other and it being them physically looking at each other. We might just have to make the mental note, okay, in this reading for this person and this person, we're going to have to maybe put one upside down so that they still look at each other, so that they can face one another. And that, I think, in my practice, what I have found with this deck, turning a card upside down so that they are facing each other works tremendously well. It works tremendously well because there are no reversals in Lenormand. You don't have to worry about messing up a reversal. There are no reversals in Lenormand, and I do hope that this helps you in your reading. If you were looking for a deck that had gender representation that was non-binary or was not the societal standard, this is an excellent deck. And for the problem that I just stated, turn one upside down, right? Or turn that one upside down. And I find that to be incredibly helpful. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you liked my little breakdown of a 3x3, how to do them, how to do an intersecting 3x3 grid, and whatnot. So if you love to read Lenormand, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to know what you think of the 3x3s and how I do the 3x3s. I've read a lot of books on Lenormand, and I do prefer the Card Geek here on YouTube. I love the way that she does her readings and her spreads and her work, and I've done some of her online classes when she's had them on sale, her pre-recorded classes, so I definitely suggest those to people. And that, I would say, is the bulk of where I have learned my Lenormand from, is from the Card Geek. So if you want to know more about Lenormand, I probably will not do more videos on this, but I can give you my favorite resource, which is Tony Puel, the Card Geek, here on YouTube. Until next time, happy dabbling, happy reading, and bye-bye.